So he comes back and he says, you know what, I checked our system and it looks like those two are gone. I'll have to find out from the manufacturer. So why don't I take your name and number, and I'll get in touch with them, and then I'll call you and let you know when it can be delivered. So we did that, went through the process, and a few days goes by and he calls and says, well, it's going to take 4 weeks for it to be delivered. And this was kind of a long time for us. We're trying to get it in before some Christmas and New Year's events that were coming. But we said, okay, it was about Thanksgiving time, and we'll go ahead and order it. So we went ahead and ordered it, and we paid our money, and we were waiting on it to be delivered. So it gets to be pretty close to Christmas time. We haven't heard anything. So we call up this the sales manager that we were working with. What's the status of it? I'm not really sure. Hold on, let me get back to you. So it took 2 days, and we had to call him back. And come to find out that our order wasn't getting produced or wasn't getting shipped on time to make it by Christmas. And so we're pretty frustrated with it. To shorten the story a little bit, we ended up not getting our piece until February. And every time there's a little bit of frustration involved, because it took 2 days to get an answer back as to what was going on. So come February, when we go and actually meet with this salesperson to talk about how late it is and how that impacted us and our family, he pulled out a lot of little yellow sticky notes and messages that he had. He had written down, Barry Welch called to ask status, and then another note, called, left message with supplier. Then another note, supplier called back, said, the product wasn't being, this whole stream of yellow stickies everywhere. So I got to thinking, you know what, this guy could really do well if this manufacturer were using FurnishWEB. If you were to change the scenario a little bit, and we would go in to ask that very initial question, the salesperson could have said, we don't have any in stock. Let me go find out. And he could have been online to FurnishWEB. He could have checked the status of how many were in stock. If there weren't any in stock, FurnishWEB supplies future availability based on the manufacturing order that's in. So he would have known, you know what, the manufacturer doesn't have any in stock, but they're due to receive some from their supplier January 2nd. You should be able to have it shipped out within a week of that time. We could have made some decisions then, he could have made some decisions then, and having the information just makes the whole process works that much smoother. If the order had been late, and even with FurnishWEB, we have a tool for that. When we call in and talk to the salesperson and he's not sure of the status, he can check that order that he's placed with his supplier online. And if it's still open, he has the ability to ask a question right online. There's a message board tied to every order, so he can communicate with the customer service person at the manufacturing. So just having the information makes it for a much smoother process, and it makes for a much happier salesperson and a much happier customer.